Well done for booking to join us for this year's Clarendon on Sunday, the 1st of October, where we will all be running, jogging, walking from Salisbury all the way through to Winchester. The start actually is in Laverstoke, which is just on the side of Salisbury. From there we go through to Pitton and then Winterslow on to Broughton. The Broughton is where the half marathon joins us. Then we go on to Houghton, Kingsonbourne, up to Farley Mount, and Farley Mount is where the 5 mile mini joins us, and then we go on to Winchester, which is King's School, Winchester. That's where the end is. The weather could be anything. We've always run it, so even if there's a huge storm, the chances are we will still be running it. We ran it in COVID when we had Storm Alexander, and that was all fine. It was great. Make sure you bring a raincoat. There's mine. What else have we got? Race numbers. You collect your race numbers at the start. We don't actually post them out. Relay teams, most relay teams actually all meet together at the start, pick up all their race numbers, and then usually they've got a support car to help them going through. We do allow some of the relay teams to pick up their numbers earlier. They'll probably be here in my house. So if you contact me in the final few days, it might be possible for you to come and collect them. But otherwise, please collect your numbers actually at Laverstock or Broughton or Farley Mount for the mini 5 mile. Buses, there's a whole series of buses. So you can actually catch a bus in Winchester, take that to Salisbury, then you run back. Or you can basically start in Salisbury, run to Winchester and take a bus back afterwards. We have 4 buses that are moving continuously. It's quite a comprehensive timetable. So again, do look at the website to actually see what time they're actually going. You can also drive. And if you're driving, we have car parking. So look out for signs like this. There's designated places to park and you should be fine. If you want to park at the Winchester end first, please do not park at King's School. We keep the car park at King's School free, open for spectators later on. So if you're parking in Winchester, please park at the South Winchester Park and Ride. In Broughton, it's on a farm which is very close to the centre of Broughton. And again, you'll see signs there. So many thanks to Dagan, the farmer, who lets us use that each year. That's really good. Staggered starts, we talked about that. Booking on the day, if you haven't booked, you can still book on the day, turn up. We charge a £10 extra. Well, I should say we ask for a £10 extra donation to Rotary charities. So bring that with you. Obviously, we prefer people to book early, but if you haven't booked and you want to join us, you can still join us on the day. Bags, we organise a bag bus. So come along dressed in warm clothes and have a bag. Put your warm clothes into your bag and then put that on the bag bus, and that will take it to Winchester, and then you can collect that in Winchester when you get through there. Swaps and changes, we do allow people to swap and make changes. So if you can't make it, you can't get a deferral or a refund, it's too late. Your number is printed, it's there waiting for you. But if you can't make it and there's someone else who can run in your place, then please send them along. They should pick up your number and then go to the timing team and say that they're running in your place, and they will then update the details and so forth. The Clarendon is an experience run, so it's not quite like the London Marathon where we're all trying to go flat out. There will be some people at the front going flat out, and that's great. We wish them well. But for the most people, it's an experience run. If you get into one of the narrow paths, please basically be patient. Don't try and sort of force people off the path or anything like that. If you come up behind someone who's a slower runner, just sort of let them know that you're behind, and if they could pull over when they could. If you're that person in front, don't feel pressurized to get out of the way. Basically acknowledge that you know that they're behind you, and then as soon as you can find a place to pull over to let them go past, obviously. In the old days we used to have problems with this, but in the last few years I must say it's been quite good. Everybody's very polite and helpful, so that's great. What else have we got here? Rubbish. If you have any rubbish, look out for these. They're all over the place at all the drink stations and everything else. This is where you put any rubbish. Please do not leave rubbish out actually on the field, especially little bits of plastic or anything like that. So let's look at some of the other signs we've got. As I said, when you get to the start, you collect your number. You look your name up on the list, find the number, and then go and collect your number from the team who are handing up the numbers. That's straightforward. They will also give you a label for your bag to go on the bag bus. So you write your race number onto your label and your name really, and then put that on the bag bus, and that'll go on through. So that's all good. And at the other end, baggage reclaim. So that's where you'll pick up your bags from Winchester. That should be all good. So you'll then be setting off, and of course it's 26 miles if you're doing the full. This is the first sign that you'll see, and then after that you'll see them counting down 25, 24, 23, etc. On the way through. Halfway through, or all the way along, you're going to have lots of arrows. There's small arrows like that, and there's big arrows like this one, which can be that way, or that way. Okay, so watch out for those. You should always be able to see an arrow in the distance. If you haven't seen any arrows for a while, you may have lost. You may have disconnected yourself from the trail. Having said that, I would say in the last 2 or 3 years we haven't lost anybody. So it is very difficult to get lost on this trail. There's also a couple of hundred marshals involved, so it's quite phenomenal. Toilets. We do have various toilets along the way. We've got the use of the toilet at Pitton and at Winterslow, at Brelton, and then as you get to Farley Mount, we've got a toilet. In fact, we've got 3 toilets at Farley Mount. So watch out for a sign that says toilet. That's good. There's quite a few places where we cross roads. Please be aware that cars have right of way. So in most cases we've actually got official road closures or temporary road closures, and so there'll be people directing traffic and so forth. But please be cooperative. If you have to wait, that's one of those things. They'll try and get you through as quickly as possible. Okay, so please watch out for cars. When you're running, you can get very tired. It's very easy to make a mistake. So far we haven't had anybody make a mistake like that. We've been fine. So that's pretty good. And you need to keep yourself hydrated, lots of drinks. We've actually got 16 water stations along the way, so you should be fine. One thing we do say is, can you bring your own plastic cup? We're trying to reduce our use of plastics. We haven't bought plastic cups for quite some time because we had quite a lot in the past, and we're slowly working our way through them, but we would like to get to the stage where we don't have plastic cups at all. We do have them for the elite runners, so if you're running absolutely flat tack, you will find these are at the water stations. They're topped up. You can grab it quickly, drink it, and then put it in your rubbish bin, like that. But otherwise, if you haven't got a cup and you're not trying to win the whole thing, pick up a plastic cup like that, have a drink, and then actually hold on to it and use the same cup along the whole route. They're very, very lightweight. If you fill them up and reuse them, it helps. We've got to look after the planet, obviously. If you're running a relay, you'll find the first relay station is at Winterslow. So you'll find that 500 metres before that, there's a sign that says 500 metres to go. And then, guess what? There's a sign that says 200 metres to go. Then there's a sign that says 100 metres to go. And you'll be feeling pretty good by then. And of course, you'll be feeling exceptionally good when you actually get to the relay change station. So the relay change station, there's usually some blue ropes. You run down between the blue ropes and pass on to your next person in your team. With the team support vehicle, you need to avoid all the roads along the route. So the thing to do is to always try and drive along the main road, the A30, A34, A30, whatever the main road is at the top. So drive along the main road, down to Winterslow, back up to the main road, along, down to Kingsholborn, back up. To Broughton, back up. Whatever you do, do not go anywhere near Kingsholborn. Kingsholborn, basically, there is always a big backup of traffic. You will be delayed. You will add to the traffic jam. So read the instructions on the website. There's a lot of detail about how to avoid getting caught in traffic jams. Once you're about halfway, you'll see a sign that says 13 miles to go, and that is Broughton. That'll make you feel better. But still got 13 miles to go. There are some places where the path can get quite slippy. We do try and put these little signs up here and there, but there's lots of places where it can be slippy and there isn't a sign. But do look out for the signs. When you see the slippy sign, be aware that it could be a bit slippy later on. If there's a big deluge of rain, obviously it'll be huge puddles everywhere. There's also those places, what I was just saying before about it being narrow. In some places the path is only one person wide. And as I say, always try and be polite. If you come up behind someone, let them know, but be patient and wait for them to pull over. And again, if you're that person at the front, don't feel too pressured. Just pull over when you can. Acknowledge that you know the person's behind you. So politeness is very important. Eventually you will get to the 1 mile sign. And this is the sign where you might want to stop and have a photograph. There's quite a few people photograph themselves hugging the 1 mile sign. It's nice when you get there. It's a lovely feeling. I always take a few photographs there. When you get to the very end, there's prizes for some people. So there's prizes for the people who, the fastest people there. But we've also got them for age categories. There's also the 5-year awards, 10-year awards and 15-year awards, and even a 20-year awards. If you want to claim one of those, do let me know. Send me an email because I built up the list so we've got an idea of who's coming. So you can rock up and ask for a 5-year or a 10-year or whatever. That's good. We've also got mugs, coffee mugs. We have these when you book. There's a small number of people who book them. You usually have about 20 or so forth each year. If you want to buy one and you haven't pre-booked it, they're £10. So if you bring £10, that would be great. Put it over there. T-shirts. We have T-shirts. Okay. And the T-shirts this year are blue. Sort of for the royal coronation. We thought we'd have blue, red and white. The red hasn't quite come out as red as what I'd hope. But they're still pretty good. And as well as the T-shirts, we've also got the Clarendon medals. Quite a few people are opting now not to take medals or T-shirts, and we've calculated the number accordingly. So many thanks to you who've decided not to have them because, again, it helps with the world's resources. I know with some runners, they've got so many T-shirts they don't need any more. But if you would like a T-shirt, hopefully there will be T-shirts there, so please do help yourself. Regarding the size, when you booked, you would have been asked to say what size you actually wanted. But when you get there, don't worry too much about that. Have a good look through and actually find one that fits you well because that's the best way to do it. And we also have massage. So we have a team led by Sarah and Jamie. If you want a massage afterwards, bring a £10 note. I think we will have online payment, but £10 cash is probably much easier to do it. But you can have a massage afterwards. So when you get to King's School, you basically follow the arrows to the gymnasium, and at one end of the gymnasium we've got all of the bags where you collect your baggage with your warm clothes, and at the other end we've got massage. When you get to the end, do try and get to your bag and get your warm clothes on as quickly as you can because you don't want to cool down. But do stick around because we've got a place selling hamburgers, we've got a place selling teas and coffees. I think we've also got an ice cream place this time. So it's quite great if you stay around and give everybody else a bit of support and so forth. That'll be much appreciated. The other thing that you'll get given when you first arrive is a souvenir program. This is last year's souvenir program, and it's quite comprehensive. Many thanks to all the advertisers in there. There's also a map of the route in there. There's also an interactive map on the website. So if you click that, it's on the home page, and you can actually expand in and out, and you can see where all the water stations are, the toilets, the relay stations, the whole lot. It's all there. The other thing you'll get at the water stations is we do have jelly beans, and we probably won't have anything on the very first drink station, but later on all the drink stations have got jelly beans, flapjacks and bananas. So if you do need a bit of sustenance, please do take that. At the end, if you want a hamburger or teas and coffees, make sure again you've got some cash to sort of pay for that. The other thing that all the drink stations and so forth will have, and also most of the marshals along the way, is some safety blankets. So if you run into a problem, there's a number of things. The first thing is to keep warm. So if you ask them if they've got anything that can help keep you warm, like one of these little safety blankets, they might also have some old jerseys or jackets or something like that that they can give you. So keep warm. We have got 3 St John's ambulances that are roaming along. So someone will be able to get a message to them and get you scooped up if there's a problem. If you're feeling okay, but you're just very slow and you're getting behind, there's cut-off times, and we would ask you if someone says that you've reached the cut-off time, it's a problem if you try and stay, because you'll get slower and slower, and it means that lots of marshals have to wait for you, and it's a bit unfair really that they have to stay out for another hour waiting for just 1 or 2 people. So if someone says you need to really move forward, the way to do it is to ask one of the marshals if they can arrange a lift for you to be taken all the way to the end, or even a lift to sort of shortcut part of the course or whatever. But keep in mind, if you're the slowest, do try and move forward. Now, to help, we have a team of bikers. So we've got some bikers at the very, very front, and they're just helping to clear the way for the lead runners. We also have bikers at the very rear. So if you've got the bikers with you, they will try and help you as much as they can. But if the people on the bikes recommend that you give up and accept a lift back, please do follow their advice. Otherwise, you could be out there for a long time. I think that's everything. I'd like to say, are there any questions? But obviously, you won't be able to answer because it's a video. Steve, are there any questions you've got?
No.
No. So we're fine. So we look forward to seeing you on Sunday, the 1st of October, bright and early, and we're all going to have a great time. And I'm sure the weather's going to be fantastically good. Thank you.